Recording live from somewhere, it is the world's famous TITT, its home team in the motherfucking house.
No question.
It is Davis Backwards and Who. State your name, gangsta.
Philmatic 365, aka man, the little done, man.
All right, man, let's get it. Of course, always sending a shout out to G and Reem, our other members of our quartet, the Heat Holders. Say what's up to everybody that's listening to us, courtesy of the War Room Sports Podcast Network. Big shout to Devin, Jimmy B. Austin. We normally give a shout out to the Burtons, but guess what? We can give a shout out to at least one half of the Burtons personally, Phil. And why can we do that?
Oh man, because we got one half of the most phenomenal food podcast, future James Beard Award winners.
That's right.
Right here with us tonight. Yo, we got Roy Burton with us, yo.
Yo, what's good, fellas?
What up?
Man, we're honored to have you here, man. We had you earlier this year. You and your beautiful wife Chanel. We absolutely did it. We did it then, and we like, you know what, we gotta have Roy back so we can definitely do a no ma'am edition. Phil and I affectionately call our chats that once the ladies get a chance to kind of do their thing, the guys to sit back and we do what we do, right?
Absolutely, man. You know what it is. We burn that midnight oil. And man chat.
Before we get into our segments, Roy, just let the people know what exactly, because you're a man of many hats. But just let the people know what exactly you bring to the table as far as media.
Well, I have a couple of podcasts here on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. One that's the one you just mentioned, Jawn Apettit. That's the food podcast that I do with my wife. We've been doing it for about a year and a half now, so it's going pretty well. Also have another podcast called The Broad Street Line. That's my sports podcast. Been doing that since 2010, so both of those, you can find those on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. Also do some other stuff as well on the side. I'm an editor for Liberty Ballers, one of the biggest Sixers sites out there as well. So, like you said, I wear many hats. So I do the podcast thing, I do the Liberty Ballers thing, so I try to stay busy,
Tell us about last weekend and what you guys were doing as far as raising funds.
Yeah, so our Broad Street Line podcast, we've been fortunate enough to take it to a 106.5 FM here in Philly. It's a local Philadelphia community radio station here in Philadelphia. So last week was their fund drive, the first annual fund drive for the station. So we were raising funds to kind of keep the station on, to pay the fees for the transmissions and the engineers and the licensing fees and things like that. So they let us do our regular show. So we're on there every week, every Saturday morning from 10 to 11. But they also let us come on last Sunday from 8 to 10 to do a little DJ set. So we had to kind of like stretch our legs a little bit, play a little hip hop, on the station a little bit, show our musical side, in addition to what we do on the sports side. So it was cool to do that. So it was a good time. The station raised close to $7,000 over the week. So very cool event to be a part of. So I'm kind of blessed to be part of something like that,
Now, you guys accept donations year round. It's not just last Sunday, right?
Oh no. Yeah, this was just a special fund drive for the radio station itself, because the way it works is the radio station is kind of part of a larger media center that includes like a TV station and things like that. But the radio station doesn't get any money from the state when it comes, or Comcast when it comes to raising funds. So this was specifically for the radio station. Let's just kind of raise funds for a week, get the awareness about the station out, and see what we do. But yeah, we raise funds all year long. Go phillycam.org if anybody wants to chip in. You give more than $25, you're eligible for a gift. So anytime you guys hit up phillycam.org, just look for the donate button, and please feel free to donate and help keep us on the air, help us do our thing.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen you guys expand. Besides the fact that Jawn Apettit obviously has gotten larger and larger in terms of just the widespread just appeal of it. But everybody loves food. But I mean, just the chemistry between you guys is something that we mentioned before too.
It's awesome, man.
It's just phenomenal, man. I mean, it's really like Styles and P, like Ray and Ghost, like that's how it should be, man. It's
absolutely, man. I'll tell anybody that'll listen, man. When me and the champ, when we started doing on the couch, I told her, I was like, yo, listen to Roy and Chanel. I was like, we're going to do exactly that, but we're going to talk about TV. We're going to talk about movies, but we're going to do exactly what they do. If you listen to like our first couple shows, it is Jawn Apettit about movies.
Right,
like,
right.
I mean, so definitely salute to y'all for you guys kind of helped her come out her shell a little bit. Like, so she's like, oh yeah, I can do now.
But it's amazing. If you go back and listen to that episode, Phil like distinctly said, he's like, my wife is a very serious woman.
Right.
Like to just get her to get on one episode as a guest is a near impossible feat. Look at it now. They are what, 14, 15?
We're about to do episode 18, I think.
18.
Okay.
They're 18 episodes in, and honestly, I can really say that Jawn Apettit was the number one influence from this. Like, it's incredible.
Wow.
So
no, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that it's hard. Like a lot of guys say like it's hard to get my wife like even to listen to my podcast, much less be on it. You know what I mean? So like for you to say that, for that to be, one of the influences of what you do. I mean that means a lot, because again, it's just, and like you said, it's like a natural thing. I mean, it's the chemistry is there, but it's just natural. Just like you, like Phil, you and your wife, it's just turn a microphone on and have the same conversations you would have anyway. I mean, that's the same thing. That's the same thing we do with Jawn Apettit. It's just, we talk about food, you talk about, movies and TV. It's just the same stuff, the same conversations you would have anyway. You just record it so other people can hear it. You know what I mean? So I think the easiest thing to do is be yourself. So it's just, I mean,
you'd be surprised though. Like, you man, when I listen to some of these, I'd be like, that's not how they are, yo. Like, but, because so many people, it seems like they give you what they think you want versus just giving you who they are. Right.
Right.
Even when they make music or in anything, when they're acting, they give you what they think you want. But you're right. It should be the easiest thing just to be yourself.
Right. Everybody tries to play a character or whatever. It's like, just don't, what I mean? Because then you got to like keep that story straight. While meanwhile you're doing, you're trying to do your thing. It's not even worth it. Just be yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into our show. Like I said, we are honored to have Roy here. We're gonna treat him just like any other co-host. He's not a guest. He's a co-host for this show today. And we're gonna get it going. Most beautifulest thing that we've seen. Some of the most beautifulest things that we've seen since our last show. We're gonna talk about them now, and I want to start, Phil and Roy. With, man, Sci-Hi the Prince, someone that we have championed several times. He said that he's finished with his debut album, coming out in stores, coming out, to a local streaming service near you. No Dope on Sundays is finished. He's announcing that he has a single with Schoolboy Q that will be dropping on Friday, which a lot of people probably won't hear because Friday has been reserved.
Jigga Aid
has been reserved for.
Yeah, Jigga Aid comes out on Friday.
Yeah, but nonetheless, we finally have some steps in the right direction of Sci-Hi's debut album. I'm gonna just go to you first, Roy. Are you familiar with Sci-Hi? What do you think about him? And what do you think about him having an album that's finally coming out?
No, first of all, I want to thank you guys for being the champions of Sci-Hi, because I don't listen to a whole lot of rap, and I'm not familiar with a whole lot of guys who are out there right now. But Sci-Hi is a guy I've been looking forward to his album for a while. Like, he's one of the dudes. Like, ever since So Appalled, I'm like, I need an album out of this dude. Like, So Appalled almost had me throwing internet hands on somebody because somebody said his verse wasn't that good. Like, I was upset that I saw somebody say that online. So I mean, the So Appalled, like that Royal Flush mixtape, I listened to not too long ago. Yeah. I listened to New Africa last week. I'm like, this is what I'm waiting for, man. These are the bars I've been waiting for. So I'm looking forward to this like a lot.
Yeah, man. Quality hip hop music, man. Oh, and it's funny, man. So Appalled happened a lot because of Jay and Beyonce. Like he actually just put that verse on there, like unbeknownst to Kanye, and they heard it and liked it and got Ye to keep it.
Okay.
Because that wasn't even supposed to be on that song. Because if you think about who's on there, it's already, jam packed. Pusha's on there, Jay's on there. Then they got the ad libs from Swizz and and the RZA.
Right.
So he's just like, yo, it's some beat left. I'm gonna just muscle these bars in. But yeah, man, when we did our best MCs in the world, he was one of the people that was on our list because pound for pound, excluding nobody, his pen game is incredible, yo. Yeah. But him just getting a shot, a actual CD with a barcode. It's so funny. Like this is his official debut, even though he's been out like close to 6 years now. Right. I mean, on like a national mainstream. When did Beautiful Hot Chocolate Twisted Lemon Flavored Fantasy come out? That
was 2010. 2010.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we're in 2017. So so we heard him 7 years ago. So but this is his debut.
Man, officially. Big shout to him, man. We're looking forward to
can't wait.
The single with Q, man. Q is a guy that doesn't disappoint.
He's another favorite of the of the tissue.
Speaking of Q and TDE, Kendrick just can't lose, man. He just released the video for Element, which is one of the songs that kind of stood out on Damn. We are just saying that we really like this. There's a lot of imagery, as you can tell, with his videos from DNA to Humble to, I mean, he's really been stepping it up.
He got that 4K popping, yo.
Yeah. We're actually just alerting everybody to just check it out. It is one of the best things that we've seen all week so far. Anybody that knows, what Kendrick does, with the video, you might have to watch it a couple of times to get some of the messages and stuff in there. But we definitely just wanted to give him a shout. Roy, this is a little bit of sports here. One of the beautifulest things that we saw was this guy step out of his shell, man. This is a guy that's had a very weird interaction with the media from the time he left UCLA to the point now where he's the reigning MVP of the NBA. Mm-hmm. One Russell Westbrook recently became a father. He recently, finished the season with 42 triple doubles. People never thought that would happen.
Ignorant.
What do you think about him walking away with this MVP award?
Well, Russell, he was my pick the whole time because you just can't discount the fact that he averaged a triple double for an entire season. And he had 42 triple doubles during the year. I mean, that's incredible. Like, I think, because we're all sports fans, like, I think we knew that once Durant left, we were going to see like next level, like Super Saiyan Russell Westbrook. Like, we knew something was coming this year. But I don't think anybody could have imagined that he would average like 30, 10, and 10. I mean, this is like, these are ridiculous numbers. Like, we haven't seen these numbers again since Oscar Robertson did it, 45 years ago, averaging a triple double. So I'm, like you said, it's a weird relationship with the media, but I think it's one of those things where he just hasn't let a lot of people in, and I think he's just starting to do that now. I mean, he just got married. Well, I think it was last year he got married. Mm-hmm. Now he has a kid, so I think he's kind of just maturing into himself, maturing into being a leader and things like that, and like letting people in and kind of seeing who Russell Westbrook really is. Like, I don't think he's a standoffish kind of guy. I just think he's one of those guys who hasn't been the focus of a lot of people until now. Till he's had the reins in OKC. So now we're seeing that side of Russell Westbrook. I don't think it's a different side, just a side we haven't seen yet.
I agree. Phil, what'd you think about the Fonte Jordan commercial? Two things that you're fond of. Fonte Coleman of Little Brother and Jordan Brand. What'd you think about the commercial, man?
Anytime you can get it's like 2/3 of a brick, yo. You get sneakers and you get hip hop. I mean, and sports, and then you get the full trilogy.
Yeah, with some dope illustration too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yo, the whole thing about it was dope. So you got the animation. I'm big into art and just the whole color of it. But then you throw in Jordan Brand, and Fonte is he's been one of our favorites for years. And I love anything that he gets on. Like, it's always going to be quality, whether it's him, ghost writing bars for the breaks or putting out his own music or doing this now. And he has such a voice. Like, I remember when we talked about when he was doing his podcast, like early in the game, when he was doing Gordon Gartrell Radio. he has such a voice, like that animation is perfect for him. Like I could easily see him like with a dope ass Adult Swim cartoon series. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
yo, that would be fire. But no, the commercial, I loved it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Again, everybody check that out. Shout out to the whole Why Not campaign.
Yeah,
the Brody. We definitely are. Man, I'm proud of that guy, man. I mean,
yeah,
for him to I feel like he handled the situation very well. The media tried to take him to another place several times.
Right.
And for the most part, I felt like he handled it well, and he left it all out on the court, man. You can't say that guy didn't ball. Like to watch his highlights, I went back and watched a lot of the things that he did all year.
They kept pushing his buttons, man. They tried to get him to be JS Smart Tech, man. They wanted him to go off, man. And they got him there almost a couple times.
Yeah. I mean, the Christmas thing where they asked him, did you say Kyrie?
Name. Right.
Yeah. He's like, what do I look like saying another man's name? Like, come on. His reactions are the best sometimes, but man.
Yo, yeah, his facial expressions are hilarious. Yo, we still got y'all
niggas tripping.
The wardrobe.
now is Russ is he the face of Jordan Brand now? Is he the guy? Is he the main guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Not Blake.
Yeah, I'm saying it ain't Blake.
No, it's not Blake.
Like Kawhi doesn't talk, so it ain't him.
Yeah, CP. I don't know. He may have a little bit of a resurgence.
Oh, true.
Yeah. In Houston, for what it's worth, is a big sneaker town anyway. So that might help. He'll have much better color palette. I mean, as much as the Sixers kind of own the red, white, and blue as far as the NBA goes.
Right.
So him getting the Rockets colorways for Jordan should be pretty interesting. I could definitely see a nice pair of patent leather 11s. Yeah, I mean with the Rockets colorways.
He's had the most nondescript sneaker signature line.
They trash. Just say it.
I mean, like you could like tell the difference between 1 and 2, and then like 3, and then like 4 through 11 have just been all the same shoe, just with a different number on it. I swear. I
don't know anybody that's ever actually. and I've lived in this world. Like I mean, I've been at every extreme of the sneaker culture. I don't know anybody that's like, yo, I gotta get these new CP3s.
Yeah.
No, it's like the dad shoe of Jordan Brand.
Oh well. Speaking of parenthood, one of our favorite athletes, someone that we've gone on record saying is the best athlete in the world, Serena Williams. She is just doing her thing. She's not letting John McEnroe steal her shine. Basically, if you just want to just Google Serena Williams and you want to just put Vanity Fair there just to make your search just a little bit easy, man, she went straight Khaleesi on us, man. Like, I mean, just Mother of Dragons, just incredible shoot. Roy, what do you think about? I mean, the fact that she won the Australian Open earlier this year while she was pregnant. John McEnroe had a little bit to say that she wouldn't even be 700 on the men's list in terms of where she would be ranked. And she took the high road. She said, "Hey, look, John, I adore you. I appreciate your legacy. I think you're great, but just let me be me. Let me enjoy this pregnancy, and we'll settle this later." What do you think about that?
Well, she did hit him with that "good day, sir," which I appreciate.
Good day. Yeah,
that's the ultimate.
I say good day.
Well, here's the thing. I'm just gonna turn it right back around to you guys. Why are we always, and by we I mean like the greater public, why are we always comparing Serena to men? Like why? Like this? Like I've never seen. Like I can't remember ever seeing this before, where a female athlete gets compared to men so many times. Like we didn't do this in golf with Annika Sorenstam or or Michelle Weir or whatever like that. It's always every time we turn around, what could Serena do against a guy? Like it's like this is just ridiculous. I mean, like the question itself is ridiculous. Let Serena just be the greatest athlete or greatest tennis player or whatever ever, and just let it be. Like I don't understand.
It's like what more can she say? Like you have an Olympics, she wins a gold,
right?
You have all these Grand Slam events. she passes Navratilova, then she ties Steffi Graf, then she passes her.
Right.
Now she just has one more hurdle in order for her to have the most ever. But it's like, what more do you want? Like,
right.
it definitely is a racial thing to me. I think if she was white, obviously we wouldn't be having this conversation. Phil, do you agree?
It's racial, but I think it's more sexist than anything. I think his little tennis man ego was hurt because they were referring to her as the best in the world, and he was like, well, he in his mind he probably thinks he could get out there whatever advanced age he is and beat her in tennis if it really got down to it. So I think his own personal feelings and ego got in the way. But y'all can be nice. I'll say it for y'all and for her. John McEnroe can eat a dick sideways. Because it didn't even need to be said. Like, nobody asked him, like, yo, what do you think if she got to play a man? How do you think she would do? Nobody, that was not the question posed to him. So I can see if that was even brought up. He still didn't have to answer it, but I can see him saying what he said if he was asked the question. But it wasn't even brought up. He chose to just throw that out there as a, oh yeah, by the way. So man, fuck out of here.
And he chose to throw that 700 number out. Which,
yeah, like
seriously,
like 700 people don't even play tennis. Like you're grateful. You should be grateful that you're even allowed to be on television. Like 700 people are not watching men's tennis.
But
I think that's the other thing too.
Part of the reason why the advertising dollars are what they are, and like tennis actually does get elevated to these primetime spots, at least for like ESPN and NBC, is because of Serena Williams. It's like because of the fact that she, has elevated the sport. All right, what is she doing on the women's draw? And then what is Federer? What is Federer, Nadal? whatever. But it's pretty much her, and then the rest of the field, and then men. So like.
It's like when Tiger was popping. It was like, they was like, yo, if Tiger wasn't playing in the tournament, they'd be like,
right.
Yeah, do we even need to show this? Like, put it on tape delay.
Like you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it Monday when Wimbledon starts, and the women's draw is like, who cares? Like,
when it's on the Ocho,
yeah.
I can watch it. I mean.
But yeah, man, big shout to her. The only thing that was bigger than her pictures, her pregnancy pictures, that were taken for Vanity Fair was the Migos memes that came out from the BET Awards. Roy,
yes, sir.
You enjoy a good laugh, man. You're a guy with a great sense of humor, man. What did you take away from all the floral short shirt?
Well, hold on. First, Roy, did you actually watch the BET Awards live?
I watched I was out, so I only watched the end, so I didn't see like most of it. I watched, well, I was gonna say the end, but it went on for like 8 hours. So I watched like from the new edition part, and then I watched like a half an hour after that. But so I didn't see all of it. But the Migos, I'll say this: those guys have a certain something about them that kind of like that people gravitate towards. I don't even know what it is, but like people love Migos, man. Like I don't like, maybe it's because like they button up their floral shirts when they're about to get into a fight or whatever. Like I don't know what it is, but that was the funniest thing I've seen all week. That was
great.
Yeah, that was great. Joe Budden was incredible. Joe Budden was incredible. They like somebody put on Twitter, those dudes stood up like one of their teammates got a technical foul. That was the best thing. Like, that was incredible.
Yo, I've seen so much stuff. Like, somebody in our group chat said they stood up in the order of their albums being released, like their individual solo projects, or also and they also stood up in the order of popularity, yo.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, but when you actually look at it, they really did though.
Yeah.
It's like, Uncle Quavo, you go first, and then Offset, and then take off.
He was delayed though. He was
he was delayed. All right.
Yeah. took a while to take off, I guess.
He was who ain't on Bad and Bougie.
Exactly. Exactly. But then the reactions of the people in the background though, like Julio Jones in the background, like awesome. Sitting there like, oh come on, man.
Yo, the other dude that showed first before Julio Jones when they that looked just like a wrestling promo though. That you can't tell me like that wasn't like the Four Horsemen in Dusty Rhodes like circa 1985. Like that's what that reminded me of. Like, you know, I can see Ric Flair fixing his cufflinks and, you know, making sure his Rolex is secure.
Right, getting the elbow pads tight.
But also, what definitely can't be glazed over with this, just the quadruple mic drop. Like,
yeah,
like you get one, okay, that, you know, that's the norm now. Like people do that now. But when you get 4 like that, and they were just
stereo.
Like, yeah, it was great. Yeah, I applaud their audio team.
Raindrops, drop tops,
mic drop,
cookie in a hot box.
So yeah, those were the most beautifulest things that we saw this week so far. There were plenty more, but those 5 definitely stood above all. And we're excited. Roy, we do a little thing where we just like to just acknowledge and just give some props to ladies of color that are out here doing their thing, man. Of course, we already talked about Serena, but there's 3 more that I just want to just mention really quick.
Talk to them.
Because our job is to definitely lift our ladies up.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just let people know that they're doing phenomenal things. You know, a lot of times in hip hop, you know, we talk about the guys all the time. And then when we actually get a chance to talk about the ladies, it's Remy and it's Beef and it's this and that. These ladies that I'm mentioning here, they aren't necessarily in hip hop, but they are affecting our community. So I just want to just give them a shout. One of them was actually honored at the BET Awards. Solange came out to introduce her, just give her a shout. Her name is Tamika Mallory. She was a part of the Women's March that recently took place. She was an organizer for that. She was given the Shine a Light Award at the BET Awards. And she's just someone that has been working just tirelessly, doing her thing out there to just raise the awareness and just bring certain issues to light that impact not only people of color, but also women specifically. So want to give her a shout out. As well as Jessica O. Matthews. She actually caught my attention as well this week. She wants to run a $1 billion startup in Harlem. She's the founder of Uncharted Play. And what they do is just incredible. Just because they're trying to help people learn how to invest and just get into that world that's right there in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. That's buzzing right around people and they don't necessarily know about it. Yeah, and you know, what she really wants to do is just get involved in a startup ecosystem where it's my seeds, marry his seeds, you know.
Keep that Wu-Tang money all up in the family.
No doubt.
That's it, man. So big shout to her. And Phil, this is someone that, you know, our third lady.
Yes.
I'm not a Walking Dead dude. Roy, do you watch The Walking Dead?
I watched a little bit of it. Like my wife watches it, so I kind of like I followed along.
Thank you, Chanel.
I read the book, so you know.
Okay, all right, there you go.
All right.
Sonequa Martin Green, she actually, of course, is known for that, but she's also the first Black lead, male or female, for Star Trek TV series. There's one that's actually coming out, Star Trek Discovery. It'll be coming to CBS this fall. So she'll be joining LL Cool J as the Black faces on CBS. But no, I definitely just want to just give her a shout out, man, because she's been grinding. She's definitely had a nice start to her career, and it's only going to get just bigger and brighter.
Her Comic-Con star is about to be on 15, because Walking Dead is already a Comic-Con, standout, but Star Trek though, that's like the reason, like partly the reason for things like Comic-Con to even exist. And I have to say, man, shout out to Miss Martin Green, because she was on Walking Dead, and the whole, everybody knows the premise. They're in a post-apocalyptic world, and she's not supposed to look, she's supposed to look like she's had a rough day. I mean, on purpose, and she would still fly. But when they would do like the after shows and everything, Talking Dead, Creme de la creme, yo.
I watched some of them. I've never watched Walking Dead a day in my life, but I've actually stopped. Like, yo, who is that? Like, watching.
She's 11 kinds of fire.
Yeah, but man, shout out to them, man. Like I said, Sonequa Martin Green, Jessica O. Matthews, and Tamika D. Mallory. We salute you. Big tissue in the tape. Salute to you guys. That's right. And anybody that wants to get familiar with them, we are starting a nice little collage of this. So we make sure that you have links and you're aware of what these ladies look like and where to find out what they're doing. So big shout out.
Also, if you have any ladies that you think we need to know about and hold on. No, we don't want. If they got a link in the bio, you can keep that shit. I mean, if they got booking info, you can save that. We're talking about people that are doing things to make Black America better. They do enhance the Black America. Yes, that's true. Maybe that's not the right caveat. But we don't want your links in the bio. We want they need to be able to put it on a W-2.
Any woman who's not in Paul George's phone is what you're saying, right?
Oh.
PG phone has all types of links in the bio. Yeah, he definitely be on his Iron Sheik flying them out. I mean.
No doubt. All right, so we actually have a segment that we're going to save for the end because we want to get right into these topics with Roy. So we're going to start here, man. All right, Colin Kaepernick, man. Do you feel okay with the fact that he's waved the white flag and he said, you know what, fuck rap, you can have it back, like Dre said. Do you think that? Are you okay with that?
See, I don't even know because Phil's boy Chip Kelly just went on a podcast today and said Cap's working out. Like Cap's ready to go. He wants to play. He's willing to play. Like, I mean, I think he realizes the situation. Like that's probably not likely. But that being said, like I think if somebody gave him a legit shot, I think he would come back and play. So, and I think he deserves to play because you guys have seen the guys who've been drafted. I mean, you guys have been signed, like Aaron Murray, Austin Davis. Like these guys are trash. I mean, like Capper is clearly better than those dudes.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I think he's staying healthy.
Ryan Fitzpatrick still has a job, though.
Ryan Fitzpatrick has a job. Landry Jones is terrible. He has a job.
Osweiler.
Yeah, like these guys are Blaine Gabbert. I mean, he literally beat out Blaine Gabbert last year. Doesn't have a job. Blaine Gabbert.
He took Blaine Gabbert's job. First, Blaine Gabbert was given his job, was giving Kaepernick's job, without really, any kind of QB battle. Right. They gave him the job, just because of, white privilege. That's what I'm going with. Mm-hmm. And then he took it back, on a trash team and, played pretty well.
And Blaine Gabbert, touchdown to interception ratio. The only Tom Brady had that.
Yeah. And I think Tom Brady is a phenomenal quarterback, but if you put him on my 49ers last year, it's going to be a bad day for everybody's favorite American. So it's but Blaine Gabbert, has a job. He got signed by a division rival, which means they got the chance to see him.
They saw the tape.
They not only did they see the tape, they got a chance to play against him and said, yeah, we want that guy in case our quarterback goes down. That's the guy we want. Like, so that tells you everything you need to know about how the NFL is playing everything with Kaepernick. And even though, and even with my guys, the 49ers, and Chip Kelly's not my guy, by the way. That was your guy that y'all pawned off on us. But anyway, I understand, it's a new regime, so you want to get, you want your own groceries, to make your own meals. But you can't tell me he's not better than, or at least just as good as the guys that Brian Hoyer. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like
pretty bad.
Yeah, like
one more thing, Roy, real quick. I just wanted to ask you this too. None of the elite quarterbacks that these guys are supposed to be cerebral, supposed to be able to analyze and break things down. Do you think they just really don't get it in terms of what he actually sought out to do with his protest? Or do you think that they just are protecting their brands just vehemently? Like, which you think it's a balance of both, or do you like what is it?
No, this is a brand thing. Because let's go back to what the Giants said. Because the Giants were like, we don't want to bring in. We got a lot of letters from people saying that we don't want to bring in Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick's toxic to the Giants brand. This is the same team that had Josh Brown on their team, and they didn't do a damn thing about Josh Brown. But Colin Kaepernick, for exercising his First Amendment rights, is toxic to your brand. I mean, come on, seriously? Like, I mean, if it's on a pure talent basis, Colin Kaepernick is in the league. But you don't want to look bad to fans, fans who, again, aren't really smart enough to understand that Colin Kaepernick didn't do anything wrong. It's just something that you personally have a problem with for whatever reason. But you're okay, and the fans are okay with Josh Brown, beating his wife. I mean, this is ridiculous.
It just goes to show you
Greg Hardy.
Yeah. It just goes to show you what people are willing to accept, though. Like, you can batter your wife. You can vehicular homicide, there's people in the NFL or that were in the NFL while they were playing that had murder as on their resume. You know what I mean? That along with whatever their stats on the field were, murder was also there. But kneeling because you're protesting the deaths of innocent people, that's bad.
Right.
That's where the line.
That's the line. Right.
It just feels incomplete just because he was just really just trying to. And I think when he first started out, I felt personally that I felt like, ooh, man, once he really gets this going, like he's gonna be a lot better 6 months from now. And that actually was the case. And he was much better equipped to have the conversation. And then they just totally just were just done with it. Once the season was over with, they didn't even want to get the real, like, where was the 60 minutes? Like where was the actual in-depth conversation about what he was trying to do? Because I think people still just don't get it. They think that he was just some knucklehead that just said, hey, I'm not standing for the, for the flag, or standing for the anthem anymore. And that's not, I mean, it's just a real dichotomy of America and how people were just clueless. Like you said,
Well, I think it fell in with all of 2016. 2016 was a big let's pretend like everyth's all good, even though we know it's not. We're just gonna keep pushing our agenda, and we're just gonna lie until it just pays off. And you can see, I mean, when you just look at the president, I mean, every day he lies about something, or he omits, or he misremembers, and then he turns around and says, "No, I didn't lie. You lied." And it's just ridiculous. That is the reality of the situation that we living in. That, like, any other human being that did or said the things that he has done at their job would not have their job anymore. Right. Donald Sterling lost his $1 billion business, his NBA franchise, for a whole lot less than what Donald Trump is doing to the entire country. But he's still the president. So that's what the reality that we're living in. So Colin Kaepernick not getting a job on a football team, even though he's clearly talented enough, is not surprising to me in our current reality that we're living in.
Roy, does he make his way onto a roster this season?
I don't think he makes it this year. I think he's going to stay in shape. And I mean, I think there's going to be more opportunities because guys are going to get hurt and things like that in training camp. So we're going to look and see, all right, maybe this is the team he lands on. I think he's probably done this year. He might have a shot next year, but again, depending on whether or not he wants to come back, after a year out, it's probably a whole different conversation. But I think he's probably out this year.
You're gonna have me wishing death on quarterbacks. So just to see how they're gonna play it, dude. Like, I mean,
right? Because they're gonna
you look at the guys. Like, do you want to come out the booth, Jay? I mean,
yeah.
We'll see. Like I said, this is a story that we've been following since its inception into the national conscience, and we will continue to.
Still selling his jersey though at full price.
Of course.
Yeah,
I love the things that he's doing, and I hope he just continues to just get stronger with his message and his efforts. Feds. I'm not talking about the guys that come knock down your door.
The federales.
I'm talking about the other feds, man. What's up with this nickname? And can we just go ahead and just abolish it now? Like, what?
Yeah, we gotta kill this. We gotta kill it with fire. Just like this, gotta go. Like the feds is terrible. It's contrived. I mean, I know what you're trying to do. It's not even everybody's last name. I mean, you're just sticking Dario in there just because it works as an acronym that we know or a word that we know, abbreviation we know. It's terrible. Like Ben Simmons said, forget nicknames. Let's ball. That's let's just play. Like we don't need nicknames. We don't need feds or whatever else you want to come up with. Just let's play games, man. Like
if Embiid wasn't so selfish, couldn't they just be the process?
They could be the process. But I mean that makes the most sense. But again, we don't need a nickname. I mean, like if you want, like just play. It's like I don't need.
It has
to
be
this.
organic anyway.
It's got to be organic. It's got to come out of. It's got to come from nowhere. Like the Lakers. Like Magic didn't say like, "Yo, let's be Showtime." Like it just happened.
He didn't say "Call me Magic" either.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
So, how excited are you though for this upcoming season?
I'm very excited. I'm kind of sad though now because like when you go to games, like you got to sit next to people. No, for real. Like I mean, you can stretch out. Like before you could stretch out, like have a couple where like you and your boy would go to a game and like there'd always be a seat open. So like you could put your coats there, kind of like, kind of stretch out a little bit. Now you got to sit next to people. Now you got to like deal with people in the parking lot, like leaving at the same time. Like it's a little inconvenient, for fans.
Which road do you want this today?
No, for real though. No, it's good. No, it's exciting, man. It's like, this is the most season tickets they've ever sold. Full season tickets they've ever sold for us. Like this goes
like
back
14,000.
Yeah, 14. I think 14,000 is the last number I saw. I mean, this goes back to AI. You would think in 2001, they might have had to broke that record. Like they didn't buy tickets, obviously. When Doc was here, which is crazy because with Doc and Moses and all those guys, it's the most season tickets they've ever sold. Building's going to be jumping. A lot of energy, a lot of young guys that we're going to see grow together. So, I mean, if you think about it, like in terms of like young cores, like young guys under 25, like on the same team. This is one of the best in the league, so it's going to be nice to watch them grow together and see if they can make some noise.
Man, can y'all please Embiid in like bubble wrap though?
He don't want to listen, man. Like this dude's probably going to go out to Vegas, going to hang out with the dudes in Vegas, run around at the slot machines or whatever. You know what I mean? Like this, like he just has too much. Like he was always on Instagram, like hanging out at like Center City Sips. Like this dude just like can't stay in the house.
Well, just don't have him walking. Like get him one of those Professor X, like the wheelchair that floats. Right, not the rolling one. You got to get him the floating, the hover chair. Yeah, yo.
I need a chair for him, a chair for Ben. Yeah,
this is the first time. How long? This is like the first draft that they got somebody that wasn't hurt, like coming onto the team, like with an open injury.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been like he's like one of because like the last guy was Okafor, and you saw how that turned out. But
yeah, he was hurt, but for other reasons.
No, but I mean it's gonna be fun down there, man. Like you got again a nice young core. You got you got your Ben, who's a lot of people are saying a generational type of talent. You got Markel, who fits in perfectly next to a guy like Ben. He can shoot the ball, he can penetrate, he can be that lead guard, if you need him to be. And of course you got Embiid and Dario. I mean it's gonna be a fun team.
What do you think about the NBA offseason so far, man? I mean, they're trying to take a page out of the NFL's book, right?
This is like this offseason, like these last couple of weeks, like since the finals, have been better than like the entire season and the playoffs. This is crazy
already.
Yeah. Like you got Chris Paul traded to Houston. We talked about before. Yeah. Phil Jackson getting blown out in New York.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler traded. That's right. Jimmy Butler traded.
Man, so it's gonna be nice.
Paul George probably going somewhere. We just don't know where yet. Dwight Howard got traded for like a box of hammers. I mean, you got a lot of player move, a lot of stuff going on, man. This is and like free agency doesn't even start till next week, So it's nuts.
It's all for naught though, right? We know who's in the finals next year.
Yeah, it's the Warriors and the Cavs. I mean,
but barring any kind of major injuries.
Yeah, unless Clay gets hurt or unless Kyrie gets hurt or something.
Did you say Clay?
I said Clay or whatever.
I think they can manage if Clay got hurt. I think they.
I mean, he's out there in China wilding though.
Well, he looks like he's getting hurt in China. That's what happens. You got the Lee Nings or whatever he's wearing. Like this is what happens. You can't dunk.
But it's like that's not your lane, man. Just like LeVar Ball said, man, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, man.
Yo, that him trying to do that 360 was almost as good as LeVar Ball running into the ring on Monday Night Raw.
Almost.
They was like this. They was like neck and neck, yo.
Has LeVar Ball never watched wrestling before? Like, has he never seen how to get into a wrestling ring? Like, what? Like, I've never seen anybody get into a ring. Like, what are you doing?
Yo, I thought he tore his ACL, like getting into the ring. Yo, I was about to say, yo, this dude hurts himself.
Oh my god!
Like, Vince actually did that. He tore ACL getting out the ring.
I know Kevin Nash did.
He blew out both his hamstrings getting out the ring, but he's also like a 70-year-old man. So
true.
You know, but
my other question, just to just move on from the NBA offseason real quick. Gordon Hayward, man, where do you have him going? Where do you think he's gonna go?
Man, that's a good question, man. I mean, I love him here in Philly, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'm like, what's the latest on Hayward? Like, where's because
he set up his meetings. I think he's meeting with Miami right? first, Boston, and then Utah gets the last shot.
I mean, it would make sense for him to go to Boston. I mean, I just don't want to see him in Boston from a selfish standpoint. But I mean, obviously, Utah can offer more than anybody else. So, like most guys typically don't turn down the money. So if I had to guess, I'd say he probably stays in Utah. But I mean, for him, it probably makes the most sense. If you want to win, it probably makes the most sense to go to Boston. But like we said, like I don't know if you put Gordon Hayward on Boston, Hayward and Thomas and Horford and those guys, I still don't think that's enough. I mean, unless you're going to wait out, if you're just going to wait out LeBron, and I guess that's fine. But still, like you still got a couple more years to deal with LeBron.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, if you're, how old is Gordon Hayward? What, like 25?
About 27.
He's a little older than that. Like 27.
All right. So he's 27. You got a chance to go to Miami, like from a personal standpoint. It really is just going to come down to how bad he want to win. Because if it's all about the personal, there's no state tax in Florida, right. And it's Miami. Right. As opposed to Boston or Utah.
Anywhere is better than Salt Lake City. So he could go to Minneapolis, and that would be an upgrade.
Yeah,
just in terms of you thinking about just quality of life. So.
Oh yeah, Minnesota's actually kind of fly, except it being like -8 degrees.
Exactly.
But I'm expecting him to go to Boston, and we'll see what happens. But like Roy said, I don't think it's going to be enough. No. As long as LeBron is out there and he's still interested in basketball, we see him branching out into other stuff, such as his uninterrupted brand that he's got going on, and it's just showing a different side of media. And Roy, you're somebody that we wanted to talk to a little bit about media, and you touched on it a little bit earlier, just in terms of the things that you've been doing and kind of where do you see just in the next maybe couple of years, just with the whole streamification of just everything.
The streamification.
Like one of the things that Phil talks about all the time that I really like when he gets on his high horse about this, but it's true. Like we grew up, listening to local radio. You as a Philadelphian, you remember Radioactive.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now there's no such thing as like local radio. Like when you go to a certain city, other than maybe like Atlanta, and even still, it's still kind of tricky. But most cities that you go to now, like you're not listening to the local radio and getting a feel for who the city is unless you turn on AM or sports radio.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
It's kind of like you said, it's kind of sad because again, we grew up with like local DJs, like DJs that we would hear, and then we go out to the club and see them in the club. They'd be spinning in the club or whatever like that. And so now it's like all these syndicated shows and DJs, like everybody's hosting a show from New York or hosting a show from Atlanta, and it's like you don't have, like you said, you don't have the flavor of the city, and it's kind of it's kind of sad in some level, but it's kind of it now with the like you said, the streamification of everything. Everybody in the city now has an option to kind of go out and be that voice. Like people, can be that internet radio station or be that, low power station that says, all right, this is Philly, we're playing Philly music. We're going to cater to Philadelphia taste and not cater to, like the big, labels. And because again, like you hear the syndicated stuff, it's the same songs like every day, like the same songs get the same 70 plays every single week. and you don't hear like, you don't get like the Philadelphia flavor. Like, we would turn on Power 99 at like, the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock and hear like local stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, you don't hear that anymore. And it's kind of sad.
Yeah. Phil, just of course, like I said, this is for lack of a better term. I mean, just give your
picture it. Washington, 1992. Yeah. Bill Clinton deregulates radio, and it allows big corporations to buy up radio stations to the point where they start combining them and making like Clear Channel, Radio One, all these. So then they start doing these central playlists. So now you have stations in California playing the same things as stations in Miami that's playing the same things as in Atlanta and Philly. And so you get these national stars. So it started to make the people that made radio-friendly music, it started to make them bigger, but it also started to alienate people like the Roots, like if you're in LA, the Alcoholics or DJ Quick, somebody like that, who weren't these huge national stars at the time, but they were important to the regions that they were in. So it started to eliminate that, and then the playlist became more and more trimmed down as labels started to, technically payola is illegal, but then they would start withholding their advertising dollars and everything like that. So they started to cater more to them, and then now you got it to the point where you only hear certain artists. They didn't even get to certain songs. You only hear certain artists on what I like to call big box radio. And it's the difference between you going to, you're a food guy. It's the difference between you going to a McDonald's where you could go to anywhere, or going to a very specific restaurant to the city. Right. You go to a spot that's localized that makes something that's like John's roast pork, for example. Okay. That's not something you can go get anywhere. There's not 100,000 John's roast porks across the country. Right. It's very specific. But versus Arby's, who technically by definition sell sandwiches, but that you could get, in any place in the country, but it's not on the same level. It's not unique to the region. It's a national watered down product. So even though they make dope commercials, it's what it is. But that's the difference between the national radio versus the local flavor that you would get in, your market.
Now has that opened it up for, if you count the three of us, you're looking at 4 podcasts essentially, that we're responsible for. Does that help with people having more options now with, the cell phone towers having more bandwidth to stream stuff and streaming services and podcast apps and everything? Does the fact that, maybe it's not so appealing like it once was, does that open it up for podcasts? What do you think?
Well, we're pirate radio now. Like this is we are what pirate radio would have been like back then. So like when you couldn't get on a mainstream station, you would kind of just jack the signal, and you would play the stuff that the people in your area, your bandwidth wouldn't be that great. So you might be able to get a couple miles, in a couple mile radius, but with the beauty of the internet, we can, we've had hits, out and people listening to us in Switzerland, so we up in the Thor countries with that with this. So it's much more worldwide, but in the essence, it's still underground. It still has that local feel because it's not so centralized. Although I'm afraid as big corporations start to get into podcasts more and more, that is going to end up, hopefully I'm wrong, but it's going to end up very similar to that when you start getting these national podcasts, where they kind of control that lane. Hopefully we can avoid that with the power of the internet. But I already see companies, getting getting in line to buy a podcast.
Right.
You see what I mean with the high horse? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey man, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, man, but I be seeing these things, man. My third eye be open.
No, but that's the thing. You're right, because I think it's sadly it's probably going to go that way because again, like as it is right now, like guys like you, like Tissue and Tape, like you guys aren't beholden to any advertisers or beholden to ratings. Like you guys get on and you do your thing, and like people listen and you build up your audience and things like that. But you're going to have corporations come in and see a Tissue and a Tape and say, all right, well, we want you to be part of our brand. We want you to push our brand and things like that. Not saying that you guys would do it, but I'm saying guys like you.
Slow down. Let's not cut off the nose despite the face. I mean, but I mean, we're not gonna be banana in the tailpipe, but we'll listen. We'll listen to what they have to say.
You're open to listening too, Roy, right?
Oh, absolutely. But what I'm saying, like it's gonna be, we're gonna come to a point where there's gonna be like tons, like there's gonna be a lot of money coming into podcasts, a lot of money coming in to get this audience that right now the mainstream media isn't grabbing because people turned off the radio, people turned away from the quote unquote traditional media stream. So a lot of that's gonna come in, and a lot of that's gonna change the content that you hear. So. Like, I don't know when's going to happen, but I think I agree with Phil. Like right now, it's still that pirate radio stage. I don't know if it's going to be like that 10 years from now. I don't know if it's going to be like that, 20 years from now.
So events like what's about to happen, you have these incredible, just think about the amount of money that Tidal has spent, with their partnership with Sprint, and then just the advertising promotions that they've done just over the past 3 weeks. Mysteriously having the 444, and the internet's pretty smart. Like like people knew that it wasn't just just the time of day. Like people knew that something it was probably Jay-Z centered. Once they decoded, that it came from Tidal. What do you think about that marketing strategy, and do you think we may look back on this and events like Lemonade? And think like, wow, this was a turning point, or is a tipping point in media just taking another step?
No, it's definitely like, well, see, that's the thing. It's like, I think it's, brilliant. Like the Lemonade reveal or whatever you want to call it, which is absolutely brilliant. Like Lemonade and then the HBO mini movie kind of thing, because that was an event. Like it happened. And while it was happening, like everybody was on social media going back and forth. They're like, is Jay-Z still alive? Like, what's going on? Like, I thought this was just an album. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. And so, like, that was an event. And, maybe, 444 is probably going to be something similar. I mean, there looks to be like a mini movie that goes along with that.
Yo.
but here's the thing. I don't know. Like, I think these are going to be kind of groundbreaking things. I don't know how many people can pull that kind of thing off. Like, I know, like, J and B can do it. And we can probably, between the three of us, we can probably name a handful of other people, but I don't know if we get past 10 because B can just put out an album tomorrow and then have no cover, and it could really be like 45 seconds of just a hiss, and it would sell 1 million copies because B, she's at that level, and Jay, and Jay has that built-in bass, and he has Tidal and all that stuff, and there may be a few other artists who can do it. So I don't know how much of how many artists can kind of go this lane, but I appreciate the fact that Jay and B have done it and continue to do it, because like that's just genius marketing. If you can do it, then by all means,
Yeah. Are you excited for this album?
A long pause here. I was disappointed by the last album. I mean, it has some bangers on it. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I don't know what to expect. Look at 6:30, 9:30, first thing in the morning when I wake up, I'm going to listen to it. Like I'm going to borrow my wife's Tidal subscription. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to listen, but I just don't. Magna Carta, like I expected so much more from the Magna Carta build up, because you had like Rick Rubin laying on the couch. You know what I mean? It was like, oh man, you got Rick Rubin. You got, you heard the beats in the commercial. Like this is gonna be crazy, and it was just okay. Like it just wasn't what I wanted. So I don't know what to expect. So I'm not as excited for it as I would have been, let's say 2 or 3 years ago, or before Magna Carta.
Now, if you don't want to borrow it, Phil will have it, shortly. Shortly after its premieres, you can bet your yeah.
For the record, I do have Tidal because I feel like I gotta say that every week now because
he's the only person I know that went to the B-side show, so he should have Tidal. Yes, you should.
You should.
Yeah.
Hey man, my playlist was the Snip Snap Snizzle. I mean, obviously the powers at the Rock thought it was worthy of B-side tickets, but yeah, I'm with Roy, man. Like I'm starting to see every time I try to get out, Jay pull me back in, because I always want his albums to be great. I always, like, in my mind, I always want, a Reasonable Doubt or Blueprint or a Black Album.
Right.
But realistically, I don't think that that's what we're going to get. My hope is tempered by my, my realism. But when I hear that little slow drum pattern and I hear mumbling and, then you see Cottonmouth on the commercial and you like, oh man, and then you see the young boy running and I'm like, oh, he's gonna make a mini movie. He might, and that's where the whole Jigga Aid thing came from. I was like, yo, me and my wife were talking. I was like, yo, what if he does like a Lemonade type of thing and he makes like a visual album and it's like, oh, that would be crazy. Like, I mean, we haven't really. I mean, Kanye kind of tried to do it, but it was just that shit was weird, and it made me nervous. Like we should have knew then. Like shit was going left. When he started making the Hot Chocolate Twisted Fantasy movie, and but all that being said, 11:59. I'm gonna be right here, with my Tidal B-side shirt on.
I can refresh.
Waiting for the record to spin like it does on Tidal, which is the best player. I have to say that joint is fire. So yeah, I'm not expecting anything, groundbreaking, but I do hope for something groundbreaking.
Yeah. Just another couple things real quick. Roy, DJ Khaled, man, what can you say about him? Just briefly. He dropped Grateful, and honestly, I've never seen a child get more love than Assad Khaled, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate his love for Assad, man. Like you can't hate on a father's love for his son.
You gotta Assad.
You gotta love it. But as far as Grateful, just Khaled's past like 3 or 4 years, man. What do you think about it?
I respect the dude's hustle. I mean, like this dude is everywhere. Like this dude, like just he has his hands in everything. Grateful itself, like not a huge fan.
No sir.
Like Shining. I like Shining. I ain't gonna lie. Like Shining is a good song. Wild Thoughts is fine. Whatever. There's a couple tracks that like you see what's the Pusha T joint with Kiss. Like you expect a lot of it, and then you hear it, you're like, man. And then like the Billy Ocean, like I expect a little bit more out of that, and it was all right. And like I know he was trying to do with that I Love You So Much song with Chance, but it's like just put that at the end. Like I know what you want to do. It's just like close it up and just let it, like you got Chance on the song, just let Chance be Chance, and like kind of so it was just kind of like a mishmash of stuff. It just didn't really kind of fit together.
I think that happens a lot when you try to do the anthems on every song. It's like you still do need album cuts,
right?
And I think some of his best Suffering From Success, some of his best albums that he had. I mean, he had the album cut joints where he put Nas with Scarface, with DJ Premier, with like it's like okay, like this isn't an anthem for the club, but this is something that you're gonna be listening to for the next 10 years plus, like. Like that's what album cuts are. Like the anthems can get stale.
Right.
So yeah, so I think he kind of just fell victim to the anthems, and God bless him, man. I mean if that's your problem, like if that's the problem that you have with the releases that you make, you got too much star power, like like that's a heck of a problem to have. Phil, did you give it more than one listen?
It's the homie didn't keep it 100, man. But see, this is what happens, man. Because you know how long I was not a fan of DJ Khaled. He annoyed the fuck out of me. So then, slowly but surely, I let him in. I'm like, all right, this dude, and then this. The album's trash, man. Let's keep it 100. It's trash. There's like 600 tracks, and like 3 of them are good. Pusha had one of his best verses on there, I think, but the song itself, just didn't quite curl. My favorite thing on the whole album is the interlude from Belly. I enjoyed that, and I thought that was fire. But again, like the whole thing with Chance, like that, like he was trying to make like all these hashtag rap songs, like or like that should have been like the voicemail that he got Chance to make for a side that he played, while he made a real song. Like what I will say about this, and this tends to happen a lot, when you have a very good album, the kind of breakthrough album that brings you to the mainstream, very rarely is that next album afterwards good.
Yeah. This made Major Key look like a classic.
Like 5 mics.
Yeah. So Major Key was I thought was a solid album. It had the album cuts, it had the mainstream hits, and then like he could have just rinsed and repeat. He could have did the same exact thing that he's been doing for 9 albums. He had all the shout out to Jimmy. He said he was playing fantasy football, you fantasy drafting, with artists and just trying to think of these crazy combinations. And I think it was a situation he had all these people at his disposal, and he was just gonna try to make them fit, like putting the God with Travis Scott. There's way too much. First of all, I don't like Travis Scott by himself.
Yeah, exactly.
All the auto tune and it's like, but you got all these wasted Nas bars, which were incredible on a trash beat with a trash hook from a trash artist. That I still like. That's how I just know I'm old, because that shit is. When I hear it, I'm like, yo, how do you like that?
Yeah,
that's all I got.
No, but same thing with that the Alicia Keys Nicki Minaj song. Like you had like the beat was good and Nicki fit the beat well, but then you have Alicia Keys like singing over the track and it just didn't fit. So it's like there's sometimes like you can just do too much, and he's just you're playing fantasy football, calling in all those favors. That's just doing too much. Putting Alicia Keys over a beat, and then you have Nicki Minaj. It's just, you don't need to do all that.
Yeah. I think he'll probably, this gives him a chance to kind of maybe do the redemption record next year. So we'll see.
Isn't he having another kid?
Is he?
I don't know why I think that. I heard that somewhere.
I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, no, I was like, he got another one.
Another
one. So like he got, that'll be the redemption one. Because he's like one of the most things just work out for him. So he'll have a girl, so he'll have a set, and then like it'll be a side and Asada or whatever, right. And then she'll be on there with a diamond encrusted panda or something. Have a panda and a little baby. It's gonna be crazy. But he'll be fine. I'm not losing sleep for Khaled. He'll be okay.
Nah, he's straight. So again, we are here with Roy Burton, Jawn Apettit, as well as the Broad Street Line. Roy, we appreciate you hanging out with us as we head towards the end of the show, man. We just definitely want to thank you. And man, just get your plans for. Can you share some of the plans that you may be having for Jawn Apettit coming up. There's some treats we might be able to look forward to that are coming up for the fans.
Yeah.
We definitely plan to have one Filmatic 365 on the show.
Yes.
Once again, like once I steal your method of taping the podcast, like getting the audio, stripping the audio down.
This is the wave, yo. Like hey man, you're all welcome.
Like get this down, Filmatic 365 will be on a special edition
Fat Boy
of the Jawn
Delight
Apettit podcast. so please get ready for that. Definitely. In a couple of weeks, we're gonna do the Philadelphia Podcast Festival again. This is the second year that we're going to be part of that.
Jawn Apettit. Record live, right?
Record live, yeah, down at Tattoo Moms, a bar down on South Street. Our second year for Jawn Apettit, third year for my other podcast, the Broad Street Line. So I'll be doing double duty that day. So nice. Come on out, July 22nd, Broad Street Line at 3, Jawn Apettit at 4. Live show. Come on down. We always have a good time. We have giveaways. We got a guest lined up. Maybe have another guest lined up coming up soon. So definitely gonna do that. So. Keep a lock for that. But until then, we're just gonna kind of keep grinding. Get the word out there, spread the word. Keep listening to guys like you. Actually, I have a question for you though, before I forget. Because you guys are the heat holders. You guys are the ones who I come to when it comes to hip hop. I said at the top, like I haven't really been in the hip hop game that much recently. I don't know what new is out there. I don't know what's good out there.
It's only one thing you need to know.
I need to come around.
No.
Hey, I already know what my brother's gonna say. That's how obvious of an answer this is. There's only one thing you should be listening to right now.
Okay, what's that?
Tell him, Hawk. Bar Exam 4.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Hey, Royce the 5'9", Bar Exam 4. Okay. That's all you need. It's on Piff.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, there's a lot. There's actually a lot of good things out.
Yeah.
But that's all you need right now. Today.
Okay. Like tonight.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll say it right now. Unheard. I know it's better than 4 verse 4 chapter 4:4. I know it is. I know it in here because
so just Royce.
I mean, of course, David Banner's The God Box is a phenomenal album.
Okay.
That's definitely Big Boy. Boom the Verse.
Okay.
I definitely enjoyed that. I was rocking to that this morning. What else you been listening to, Vod?
I'm still listening to Joey Badass, honestly. Like I'll throw that on
Joseph
every once in a
Badman.
while. Yeah, I'll throw that on every once in a while just to get a change. It has a nice eclectic feel to it. He did his thing. He's definitely matured from. He celebrated the 5th anniversary of 1999. His breakthrough mixtape that came out. And just to look at him now, he's 22 years old. He's coming into his own. He's got a great partnership with Static Selector, who's coming out with the album later on this summer.
That's another one. That's
so it's just great just to hear his progression, and he's coming with a lot of different views from somebody that's, like I said, 22. So him and Chance, just the way that they're thinking and they're evolving is promising, just based off of some of the things that you're hearing from their contemporaries and their peers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm definitely still rocking with that. But Bar Exam 4 is something that I'm telling people, if they have not listened to it, they need to take some time out. Yeah. And even if you just listen to the YouTube just clips of it first and then you download it later, you definitely will not be disappointed. By the time you get to the middle of it, you almost have a headache because you're just trying to just get you a notepad.
Because I'm telling you, there's so many that he jams, but in a good way. He does it well. There's so much metaphor and wordplay in the songs that you're gonna be like, they're gonna need a couple. You're gonna be like a year from now, you're gonna be like, yo, that's what he meant. I mean, it's that fire. Okay. Also, I mean, I don't know if you're a fan. MC8. He has a very, very good project with DJ Premier. Which Way Is West? Okay. That joint's in Gia. You always got to throw one of them in there.
Exactly.
What else? I've been listening to so much stuff, man.
Phil's a big fan of Reject on Steroids.
Oh yeah,
Conway the Machine.
Yeah, the Griselda. They just signed the Shady. Conway the Machine and West Side Gun. Conway has a mixtape with Green Lantern. Also, because Barzan 4 is also hosted by DJ Green Lantern.
Okay.
But Conway, if you want to, if you need like 6,700 people slain, you put on Conway, and you'll get that done. And if you need 167 people slain, then you get Coogee Rap Return of the Don, which is another good album to check for. G-Rap being G-Rap as only G-Rap can.
Right.
And he brought along some of his murderous young boys.
We could go on for days, man. One of the ones I wanted to mention too, if you have not listened to it, the 7 was a 7-song EP with Styles P and Talib Kweli. Definitely quality. Everybody that I've heard listen to it, they definitely were not necessarily surprised, but they were definitely pleased with the fact that they were able to put together such a project, kind of just on a whim like that. So,
and Roy, I know you are a busy man, so if you do not have time for all that, you don't even have to go to summer school. All you need to go to is SoundCloud, Tissue and the Tape.
Right.
You know, get Respect Heat Holders volumes 1 through 5.
Yeah.
And all the quality hip hop music you need. You know, I often hear you and Chanel talk about, you know, the lack of good things to listen to. Mm-hmm. That's all you need, yo.
Yeah,
there.
We just named you about 8 things right there.
Yeah, I got the list, and then I got, you know, obviously I got your SoundCloud page, so go to SoundCloud, you know, download your joints.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you know, we right here, man. Anytime you're feeling deprived of quality audio, you know, you get at myself or Vod, and we got you.
Okay, appreciate that.
So we wanted to do one last segment before we let you go. Like I said, Phil, know you're a busy man. You got a lot going on, so we wanted to.
No worries. Always got time for you guys, man.
I appreciate it, man. All right, so we did this segment with our brother Jimmy the Blueprint Williams, episode 154. We called it "Making a Name for Ourselves," and what we did, we just took 3 random topics that were in the news, and what we did was we kind of just deciphered what we thought about them and used a rap song title to actually describe our feelings of it. Since you are our guest host today, it's only right that we start with you. The first one that we brought up was man, I'm not gonna say yours because I don't want to do it. The President of the United States. It was discovered by Time Magazine that he actually has been making his own fake Time magazine. Like some of the stuff that this guy does, like it just sounds like straight, just like parody, but it's like all facts. It's like real life. So anyway, he made his own Time Magazine cover with his face, and then he also put the Apprentice is a smash hit at the bottom of it. Like something that you would get from like Walmart, like, you know, like a picture or whatever, or like Little League Baseball or whatever.
He got the Wildwood.
That's what I was gonna say. Like this is what, like when you go down the shore, like this is what you get. Like you down there like with your grandma or something. Like yo, get the picture of you, like, you know, like Little League superstar, like yo on the cover of Sports Illustrated. That's what this is, man.
Yeah,
like, that's all this what this is. This dude's a grown man. He's a billionaire, you know, quote unquote billionaire.
Yeah,
these like fake covers. You know?
So these are plastered in his golf clubs, and you know, unbeknownst to the patrons there, they probably like, okay, yeah, sure. Wow, I missed that issue.
Exactly.
But what rap song title did you come up with?
All right, so I took a page out of Jimmy's book. So I didn't know I was gonna go first. So I had a couple. So I'm only gonna give you my first one. The one I had, "Fake Love" by Drake. It's just straight fake love. This is fake love to yourself. You put up these fake covers, and I was like, come on, man. Like, really? Do you really need this? Like, what billionaire do you know like makes fake covers of themselves on magazine? Like, this doesn't even make sense, man. Like, for real.
There's only one.
Goodness.
Yeah, Philmatic, what you got?
that is your boy, yo. That's all I can say, man. And MCs who slept for days must be swept away. Yo, you need to be swept away, like very, very quickly, yo. Like I wish, you know, I wish they could connect these Russian ties and get this boy out of here, man. That's what I got for him. You know?
I went with Publicity by GZA.
Nice.
You go back and think about GZA. He had a great song where he just connected a lot of different magazines, and it was very creative. And I'm not going to say this is very creative, but this is definitely something that was not real. And anything that he does is for publicity. So the fact that we're actually talking about this and we're having a chuckle about this, like he doesn't mind that. Like this is just something to just push his agenda forward and to get us distracted from whatever else he has going on. So he loves it. So I went with that one. And you know, that's what it is with this guy. Like Phil said, until something happens to where it's not. So, all right, let's go to number 2. So of course, you know, Sports Illustrated is known for the swimsuit issue. So ESPN, the mag, has kind of adopted their own way of kind of having an annual love fest when it comes to the anatomy that you know their athletes have. The annual body issue is always a little weird because you got your weirdos like Dwight Howard, who's probably been planning for this, you know, since he was, you know, since it started 8 years ago. But Pudge Rodriguez, just a lot of just weird. You know, it's just a lot of weird photos in this joint that I personally don't really rock with. Hope Solo, what up? But no. What do you think about the what do you think about the body issue, man? What song did you pick?
I picked New Workout Plan by Kanye.
Okay.
Because like the link, when I was doing some research, the link I saw, like I think the link you sent, like there's a lot of dudes like mad sensitive like about this Ezekiel Elliott cover or whatever like that. It's like, what are you so sensitive about? Like, I mean, like, look, like I understand that every pro athlete except for like Eddie Lacy and maybe like Big Baby is in better shape than me. Like I get it. Like I understand. Like I ain't mad about it. So if they're on the cover of the body issue, like it is what it is. Like I'm not gonna get mad about it. If you want to get in shape, you know, get yourself a workout plan and like do what you got to do. Like don't be mad. Like whatever.
That's a good one. Phil, what about you?
I had to stay close to home and get the clips. I'm good. Because that's what I am about the ESPN body issue. I am good. I used to get ESPN the magazine sent to the crib, and the subscription ran out. I didn't renew, and I'm good. Yeah, I'm good with that.
It's a good one. I went with. It's funny too because I was just thinking about this. I'm like, man, you know what? I almost went that way in terms of not really caring and kind of going that way, but. You know, it's hard. It's hard not to at least give props to the ladies. So, at the end of the day, there are some ladies in there. Anita Applebum is what came to mind for me. You know, we're going to look past the guys. I don't need to see that, but I will say most of the ladies that I have seen in here, they are, you know, it is something nice to see in terms of their physiques, and you know, I'm there for that. As far as the guys, not quite. So I won't be looking at this one, but you know, some of the ladies' photos will come out, and I'll definitely probably be sharing those in the group chat when they come out. So
word.
All right, so the last one that we have here, there's a story that was actually on Philly.com. And I think we actually mentioned this a time ago, but it's called Date While You Wait. And what it is actually one of the nicer regional rail stops in the city for anybody that's ever been on SEPTA. It's actually over there, University City. It's right behind CHOP. But it's actually one of the nicer, maybe even safer feeling train platforms in the city. But anyway, what actually has been done? There's a guy and a girl. They get a chance to sit down and have a conversation with each other if they so choose to do that. They can play Uno, Connect Four. or just get to know each other at these tables that have been set up there. And it's basically a movement that's called Date While You Wait. It could be a nice way to meet, your next girlfriend, or, a nice way to just pass some time while you're waiting for the train. Roy, what'd you think about this?
I think I love the idea. Like, I love the concept because, like when you go to a train station or whatever, like 85% of the people are just staring at their phones, going through Twitter, going through Facebook or whatever. So it's like we become like a little less personal, as a society. So something like this is kind of cool. Like, it's a good thing to kind of meet people, to kill time, because the acceptor's always late, so you got time to kill. So you can kill time waiting for your train or whatever like that. Like, I dig it. I had a couple songs. I guess the one I'll go with for this one is "Excuse Me, Miss" by Jay-Z.
Nice.
Because again, it's a nice little way. Again, you can meet somebody. You can meet somebody of the opposite sex or whatever. Play a little Jenga, play a little Uno. While you wait for your train, like a little icebreaker. Because again, like when you're working or whatever like that, like it's hard to kind of meet people. So this is kind of like a built-in way. Like, everybody's got to get to work somehow. So this is kind of a built-in way to kind of make those connections that we don't really make anymore.
Yeah,
Nice.
I like that. Filmatic.
There was a lot of ways to go with this one. I thought about Jay, girls, and then I was like, that seemed too easy. So ultimately, what I end up coming up with is gangsta, ex-girl to the next girl. It's gonna be mad people coming through the train stop. That's one of the more busy ones. So there's gonna have a lot of options. So it might potentially get a little awkward though, because you might make a connection, or and then things pop off and then they go left.
Yeah.
And then now you got to see that person that I'm not changing my schedule because you don't like how I left the toilet seat up. That's not how this is going to go down. So but at the same time, there's going to be somebody else coming through, and then you might want to connect forward with them. So yeah, ex-girl to the next girl.
You know what? I gotta walk this back because that's important. Because people are creatures of habit when it comes to riding their trains or whatever, and like if you like waiting for your 520 and like you talking to this one Jawn and the one you played Uno with last week comes through, then that's a little uncomfortable. Like, that's a bad scene, man. Like, that's a bad scene. It's a bad scene, man. Yeah, I don't know.
What you gonna change it to? Girl fight?
I don't know if this is a good idea, man. I don't know. This is gonna be a problem.
The one that I thought that came to mind just because it seemed like a real puppy love way of meeting somebody. I just thought of just A Teenage Love by Slick Rick. It just came to mind. Don't Hurt Me Again. It just seems like something
that word was trained in the video.
It's something about it that does have like a youthful kind of romantic thing to it to kind of connect with somebody that way. And just being on the train and the bus, a lot of times you have your guard up and you're just looking to just get where you got to go, and like you said, maybe just not paying attention to things. So I think to just relax and maybe just meet somebody in this way is definitely it's not juvenile, like it's actually like refreshing, and like I said, it's a youthful way. And I would love to hear a success story of somebody that actually did this.
Yeah, I love the concept of it, but I'll always be thinking like, yo, well, how in what way will this go left? And like I said, I can really see a Jenga game turning into especially in the city, man. It's a lot of hostility, reciprocal hostility in the atmosphere. Like you have a 235 win percentage, over the last 5 years, and it start to, what I mean.
Well, we definitely had to end it with that. Of course, with the Broad Street line being such a big part of your brand, we just wanted to just bring this story in there as well as the other ones that we mentioned and discussed. We appreciate you taking time out to talk to us, Roy. Anytime, you want to hang out with us, man, and just shoot the breeze. We definitely appreciate it. The invitation is extended to your wife as well. Big shout out to her. And the work that you guys are doing is just going to just pay off and just huge dividends very soon. So we're looking forward to just not only just witnessing it, but also just being a part of it, man. Because War Room Sports Podcast Network is definitely something we're proud of, man. We appreciate everybody. So just let the people know how they can listen to your shows, when they should expect the new ones, and all that stuff.
All right, so Jawn Apettit, the food podcast, we typically record every Sunday or Monday, depending on our schedule. So just hit us up, JawnApettit.com. You can get all the episodes there. They're also on Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud and Stitcher. The Broad Street Line, we do 2 shows a week. We do one on Wednesdays. That's our kind of like off-the-air podcast. And then we do the Saturday show every Saturday at 10 a.m. All those shows are uploaded as well on our Spreaker page. So just go to thebsline.com for all that stuff. So you can follow me online on Twitter, at the BS Line. I tweet out links to everything, so you can hit me up there, and at Jawn Apettit for the food podcast. But no, I want to thank you guys again for letting me be on here, and I appreciate what you do, and I'm a fan of what you guys do, and more than anything, I love the fact that, because I'm big on this, like I love the fact that you guys give the people their roses, when they can appreciate them. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the times, we don't appreciate the greats in the fields that we enjoy until it's too late. And you guys, every week, you guys celebrate hip hop. You guys elevate the conversation, and I appreciate that, because there's not a lot of people doing that in the game right now. So you guys have done that. You've done that for years now, and I appreciate what you're doing. And I look forward to your show every single week.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, as Roy Burton of the Broad Street Line and Jawn Apettit, and like I said, this is a guy that he's going to be a national household name.
So, I don't think people really realize like how good. I don't even think y'all realize how good your show is. Like when I hear y'all, I see like I'm like the Food Network gonna have a fucking problem, because if they ever hear y'all, one of 2 things is gonna happen. They're either gonna try to steal your show, and then you're gonna sue them, and you're gonna come up that way. Right. They're gonna give you a bag, and you're gonna be out of here. So just remember us. Yeah, remember
always, man.
Remember the little tissue that could when y'all get y'all James Beard Award.
No. We are a collective, man. War Room Sports Podcast Network. We literally wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't you guys and the War Room Sports guys like hyping us up. Tweeting out links.
Yo, did you see Dizengoff? They retweeted the joint the other day. I was reposting, like I was listening to some shows, and I was liking a bunch of joints on the SoundCloud, and in my SoundCloud, when I like it, it goes out to Twitter.
Right.
And so I guess some of the owners at Dizengoff, they retweeted it, and they was like, thank you. I was like, I'm not Jawn Apettit, but I'll relay the message. It was pretty cool though. I got a screenshot so you can see it.
Yeah, no, let me know, because I didn't see that one, but yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Actually, a couple people retweeted the links, because they go to my Facebook too. But yeah, it was I the only thing I hate about your show is that I'm not in Philly. Because y'all be talking the chicken, the honey,
loving honey,
man. Yo, I was so hurt. Yo, tell Chanel she got it. How she ain't eat the cornbread, yo? Like that's where you gotta cheat.
That's cheat day. That's cheat day worthy right there, man.
You gotta, because I could hear it in your voice that it was fucking phenomenal, yo.
I can't tell. Look, I can't tell you how good that was. I can't wait to get down to where Bod is, man. Because I'm trying to plan out a trip now. Because I need some of those. I need some of those Texas eats.
Yo, I got the list for you already. I gave when his cousin went down there. I got a list of 50 restaurants in Austin, of restaurants and food trucks.
Yeah, Roy, we got to make that happen, man.
I got the mix, Roy, because the mix is a legit thing.
No. Did you make that mix, or did it come in a bag?
I made the mix. It was in 2 bags.
Nah, man, that don't work. No, you can't make the mix.
It was in 2 bags, and I placed it into 1 bag.
No. If it was party mix in a bag together, that's fine. You can't
party
make
mix.
The mix.
Can't do it like the boy though.
No, well, true. Which is why.
No doubt, man. All right, so we're definitely we have a couple segments we're going to do post edit, but once again, Roy, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Roy.
Man.
Thank you, gents. Let's do it again soon.
All right, man. Peace. Filmatic.
Yeah.
we just got a couple more things to talk about, man, before we get out of here. I just wanted to just give a shout out, man. We've been talking about the brothers going to work it out. Make it a point to just point out guys that are in the community doing great things, or guys that are doing some trailblazing work out here. Of course, Chance, the Humanitarian. That's what we're going to call him today. Just the things that he's doing.
That kid, man.
Yeah, no, he's doing great stuff, man. And, you know, everything that you hear about him is positive. Which just, I mean, besides really Kendrick, like, there's not too many rappers that you could say that. I mean, just what they're doing, you know. J. Cole does some great things too.
Yeah,
but it is great to just see Chance. It looks like he's just getting bigger and bigger in terms of just you know,
25 and he has the Humanitarian award. Like I tweeted out, man. I was like, man, Chance for president, man. I mean, we got this fuckboy in office now.
Yeah, why not?
There's no way, you know, like he couldn't be worse.
Yeah.
like I mean, and all signs say that he would be better. You know, but no, seriously, just everything that he's doing, he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's saying all the things, but he's actually doing, which is so key, because anybody can say anything, but he's actually putting dollars behind those words. Really,
and one of the things that I love, that I mean, we're seeing a movement. You see Game, his son is going to the 9th grade. Man, you see Jada, anytime he gets a chance to talk about his son that's in college. You see Fab, you know, and you know, especially with his oldest, Johan, and you know, with his youngest, like you see these guys that are, you know, essentially our age or just a little bit older, with their children, man. Jim Jones, you know, I mean, that's one thing that I think the hip hop community is giving.
It's a beautiful thing, man. Because you don't really get that picture, and then you see Jay, who is like the hustler's poster child. I mean, and you see like a different side. You see the dad Jay-Z when he's with Blue. You know, that, and it humanizes him. You know, it kind of tarnishes the image, you know, of the, you know, two guns right over left. That's how I cross-examine. You know, but at the same time, it makes you see that like even that guy has a soul. He's a human being at the end of the day. Yeah. And it's awesome to see, man.
It's great to see, man. Just fatherhood being embraced and touted, and you know, just people raising their kids, because that's what it's all about. Power is back. Of course, besides that, you know, Omari Hardwick, he's working with this organization, Real to Real, and they're just striving to amplify Black voices in film. Really getting out there, to let people know that there's so many things that you can do, whether it's in front of the camera, behind the camera, behind the scenes, and production, post production, just all different types of things. And for a Renaissance type of man like Omari is, it's good to see him get out there and just let people know. You know, he's working with the Jason Taylor Foundation, and he's giving students scholarships and chances to enter competitions, to use these cash awards to better themselves and to, you know, build brands for themselves. So that's
really dope too, because it shows you don't have to be in front of the camera. You know, you can. There's so much that goes on. Like, I mean, you see movie credits. You see how long they are. Like, you know, only like the first 20 names or so are actually in the movie or on screen. There's another 200 names of jobs that can be done by somebody. Got to do them. You know what I mean, so you know, why not us?
So Real to Real is on a 7-city tour right now, and they're basically helping short films get screened so that people can see them, and you know, possibly have the rights for them bid on and stuff like that. So it's real good work with him. Anybody that's interested in checking that out, please do. In the meantime, of course, Power season 4 is on, and you know, everybody hates Angela, and you know, that's where it starts.
Even though she wasn't part of that segment, I gotta. Somebody got to die. Somebody got to die. I go, you gotta go. Like, no, like seriously. Oh, she's so fucking. I can't. Yeah. You know, I mean, for those that don't watch it, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I just can't wait to see her face.
Yeah.
When everything comes out.
Yes, sir. Chadwick Boseman. Now he was Jackie Robinson. Okay.
Check.
He was James Brown.
Check.
He's Black Panther.
Double check.
But before that, he's gonna be Thurgood Marshall in the theaters.
Yo, all right, hold on. So, baseball and civil rights icon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first black man to ever be in Major League Baseball. He played him. He's the godfather of soul.
Yeah.
Arguably the father of hip hop. You know, if you want to get technical about it. Played him.
Mm-hmm.
The illest, at least for us,
yeah,
the illest superhero, in the history of the earth. He's a king. He speaks 200 languages. He's he's actually a trillionaire per Marvel facts.
Yeah,
trillion. He's playing King T'Challa in the Black Panther. And he also has superpowers as the Black Panther. All right, so but before he does that, he's going to be Thurgood Marshall, who's a civil rights leader and the first African American Supreme Court justice.
Yeah, that's him.
Yo, who has like, I'm trying to think of an actor that has 4 roles.
Denzel.
All right, he was Malcolm X. Denzel was Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who else did he play that was
like of note like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, of note when we're talking about from a non.
I mean, there's power. He played powerful roles, of course.
Yeah.
He played the lawyer in Philadelphia, but he's not.
Right.
I mean, he's not on the level of those.
Okay. Guys. Steve Biko.
He played Steve Biko. Okay.
And Reuben Hurricane Carter.
Okay.
So.
And even that being said,
Frank Lucas.
and even that being said, with those 4 prominent individuals,
it's like in comparison to Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. Yo, I was trying to think all right, Robert De Niro played Scarface. He played Al Capone Scarface.
Yeah.
All right, he played somebody recently, a real person. That he did a good job.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll have to think about this one.
It still pales in comparison, though. I mean, this guy Chadwick. I'm like,
these are like his his first couple movies. I mean, this is early on.
Yeah,
this is not even he hasn't been in that many movies.
He's only been in 12.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the percentages, his percentage rate is of star-studded roles is
but man, big shout to him, man. I know we talked about Black Panther, but when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, it's definitely a story that needs to be told, and one that's not necessarily so popular. So it'll be good for that to come out if people get the chance to learn more about such an important figure, especially when it came to civil rights.
He has 29 acting credits on IMDb, and but just keep in mind that 3 of those are as the Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're counting. These are going into 2018 with.
He's got TV and movies too.
Yeah. But all right, so 42 is Jackie Robinson. But even though he's not a real person, he played Vontae Mack in Draft Day. These are his last roles. He's King King T'Challa in the Black Panther, Thurgood Marshall, Message from King, he was Jacob King. He was in Gods of Egypt, and James Brown.
Probably the only black person in that joint too.
Hey, yo, keep it 100, yeah. Then he was he's James Brown, Fonte Mac, Jackie Robinson, and then then there's a bunch of like TV series that he was in. But like as far as like movies,
yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Howard University guy, so man, big shout to him. We definitely just want to just give these guys some credit, man. They're doing some big things.
Chadwick Boseman, man. That's ill, yo.
Before we get out of here, Phil, some things for people to check out. If you have not watched Can't Stop, Won't Stop documentary, Phil is definitely going to be giving his review along with the champ for On the Couch with the Wilsons. Looking forward to that. It was very inspiring. I watched it basically at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I could not stop watching it.
Me too.
I had to watch it to the end.
But I want to preface it by saying that this is not a Bad Boy like retrospective as much as it is. It's more of a day in the life of. It's it's a build up to the Bad Boy anniversary concert. Mm-hmm. So it's giving you like some background history on the different artists that are appearing at the concert. It's similar to Fade to Black. So it's giving you context. So it has to go back, but it's not like it's not a documentary per se about the start of Bad Boy Records. Like a lot of people, I saw a lot of people thinking that's what it was. And if that's what you think it is, you're not going to get that. But it is extreme. I urge everybody.
Yeah.
If you're just a fan of hip hop or a fan of even business, you need to see this because there's
a lot of jewels in there.
Yo, there's all types of jewels in there, yo. Oh, my favorite line in the joint though, yo. I don't want the Chrysler that looks like the Phantom.
Yeah.
I want the Phantom.
Yeah.
I mean, in metaphorically speaking, that's. I mean, that should be everybody's motto. Like, why settle for the imitation? Work hard for the authentic, for the real thing. I mean, so
shout to Puff.
Yeah, shout out to Puff, man.
Yo, shout out to Craig Mack too, man. That's one part that's in there. I mean, I'm not spoiling this for anybody, but Craig Mack, he said, "Hey, look, y'all do your thing. I appreciate it, but." He was so strong in his convictions, and a lot of people were wondering where he was. He wasn't a part of this reunion, but I mean, he had a very good reason why not. He said, "Hey, look, you gotta respect that." Yeah, you gotta respect that, man. He's following the path that that he's on, and he feels like that's what he needs to do, and he can't participate. I like the fact that they incorporated that in there, and you got to see a little bit of that. So, man, shout out to Craig Mack.
And hey, did you get a chance to watch Tales yet?
I just caught a little bit of the first episode, which just premiered yesterday. So I'm probably watch that tonight. Very, very proud of what Irv Gotti's been able to do. Looks like he's finally trying to make his way back. It's been a long road, man.
Yeah, man.
Since the Feds made the office. Yeah, so he's making his way there. This a venture with Tidal, and it's on BT as well. So yeah, looking forward to really getting into these episodes and seeing what they have to offer, because I've heard nothing but great things about what they put together.
Very well done. I like the limb that they stepped out on with the first one. Very, very unique spin on NWA's "Fuck the Police." Very, very, very dope.
Yeah.
So
shout to Irv. Public Enemy is still rolling, man, and it's incredible.
I'm Animal, man.
Yeah, Chuck D, man. They got a new album coming out next week.
They tour like madmen, It's so dope that to see them, like, they get a lot of love, especially overseas. London absolutely loves Public Enemy. One of the things a lot of people don't even realize, their most famous work, "It Takes a Nation of Means to Hold Us Back." When you hear a lot of the skits, they're taking place in London. Or a dude that sounds very much like Tim Westwood is announcing them right before Bring the Noise comes on.
Yeah.
So they've always been shown love over there, but they stay touring. And whether you're fans of PE at this stage of the game, they're undoubtedly first ballot Hall of Famers. They're actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they keep doing what they love.
And pound for pound, best logo in music ever.
I still to this day,
not hip hop, not just hip hop.
Period. It's like it's right up there with the Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
It's so the Wu-Tang W. I mean, like that logo is so powerful from the message it sends, but just the visual aspect of looking at it. I need one of those jackets. Like every time I think about Friday Night Lights, man, I just think Boobie Miles had one of the Public Enemy jackets. That was the illest part of that whole movie to me. Like as great as the story as it was, he had the Public Enemy jacket. I need that. Like that joint is amazing. Chuck, I need that Public Enemy jacket.
Terminator X.
Terminator Flav.
Hey, the name of the project is called Nothing is Quick in the Desert. It was supposed to be a surprise, but it looks like it kind of leaked out a little bit. Chuck D confirmed it. It will be set to release on July 4th. So next Tuesday, you'll be able to check that out. We will, of course, be listening to it, and we'll let you know what to check out on it.
Man, they'll always get my attention.
Yeah,
I'll just out of respect, if for nothing else.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give Chuck and PE a listen.
Yeah, we are heading towards the end of the show. Phil, there's a lot of bad boxing that's gonna be coming up in the next couple months. You said recently that basically if they ain't rumbling each other to the death, you ain't really trying to watch. So
yeah, man,
Manny Pacquiao fighting on a Thursday on ESPN, it just sounds like
that's as almost bad as Saturday morning football from London. That's like the equivalent of what we're getting. Like it's like, oh, how the mighty have fallen, like he was literally pound for pound the best or one of at least number 2 boxer in the world.
He had his moment pound for pound where he was for sure. Yeah.
And it's just like, well, first of all, these dudes never retire. They never let it go. They gotta literally be pummeled to death. I think Floyd may be the only one that actually gracefully bows out.
He just one last heist.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect word for it.
Yeah. But this is Pacquiao's first non-pay-per-view fight since 2005.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that also goes to show you that it's in them. It's like it's not what they do, it's who they are. They are fighters. They're good. Roy Jones was fighting at the Mall of America, $2 in a biscuit, just because that's what he does. He doesn't even need the money from all accounts. He's not broke. He just want to fight.
Yeah. So beware. Watch out.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I'm not checking for this.
Yeah, me either. It actually comes on Saturday, at 9 p.m. on ESPN. So in terms of there not being a whole lot of great Saturday programming, this is kind of a treat because you do know who Pacquiao is and whatever. But we'll see. I won't be watching. But,
I'll catch the highlights on ESPN. Maybe and if it ends up being if I get enough people telling me it's a great bout, I can always catch it. But yeah, I haven't been excited about boxing in the last time I might have kind of got excited was Pacquiao Mayweather, kinda,
Yeah, kind of sort of. But even then, like that was such a long shot.
Yeah, because they waited so long for it to actually happen.
It was like 7 years too late.
I'm trying to think the last fight I was really hyped for. Like the fact that I don't know it is, you know, I don't think I had a kid the last time.
Yeah.
I might have been a kid the last time I was in like yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, once again,
Sugar Shane Vernon Farce.
Oh man. That's a while.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roy. Shout out to the whole War Room Sports Podcast Network. Shout out to all our listeners. Shout out to everybody that hits play and that shares and comes back and lets us know that they are listening. We appreciate it. We definitely want to expand and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we out here and we're
in these streets.
Yeah, we're looking to definitely do some big things. So again, thank you to all the listeners. Thank you, Phil. On that note, take us out with the fader.
You already know what it is. Tissue and the Tape. We are on iTunes. We are on, Apple Podcasts. We are on Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, the War Room Sports Podcast Network on warroomsports.com. You can hit me up. I'll send you a link. You know what I mean? I'm at Philmatic365, at Davis Backwards. We got you. Check us out. Tell your friends. Tell their friends. And on that note, work for the money, live for the love, die for what you believe in. This is Tissue and the Tape. Respect heat holders.